In this episode of Ask Vortex, we give away a pack of bacon. Not sure how it's going to get to you, but it'll get to you some way or another. Reuben joins us from Kentucky.
If you've known the SCAR, you know that it's a very light shooting platform.
And Ryan chooses quality over quantity.
The magnification is just intensifying a problem.
It's unloaded, right?
Of course.
Good. Hey, what's going on, Vortex Nation? Now, welcome to our first Ask Vortex. Now, you may have tuned into our first Vortex Live video where we talked a little bit about what we're going to be doing here. Now, a few of the house rules right off the bat. Basically, all you need to do is hit us up in the comments below on any one of our Vortex Live videos, or really any video on YouTube, or even hit us up on social media with hashtag AskVortex, and then ask us whatever it is you want to know. Could be about rifle scopes, could be about binocular spotting scopes, or even stuff outside of optics like public lands, shooting, long range, ballistics, you name it. Anything you want to know, and we'll do our best to answer it right here. We're going to pick our favorites, and we've got a few of those today from that very first video. So we're going to roll through them, just get right into it right now. Now, right off the bat, Ryan Schmidt tuned in, and he wanted to know, 3 to 9x seems relatively low magnification for shooting 1,000 yards, and this is referring to our Dback Tactical 1,000-yard video. What are the advantages and disadvantages of higher magnification, and is low magnification actually better in some cases? Well, Ryan, right off the bat, I think that our very own Ryan couldn't have put it better himself at the range. Let's check that out.
Put your precedence on your optical quality and then your optical quantity. Because without optical quality, magnification is just intensifying a problem. It's taking a poor image and making it larger, which is not doing us any good.
So optical quality certainly does outshine optical quantity in many cases. Now, there are times where high magnification is going to be of a lot of use to you. Now, let's take, for instance, F-class shooting. We have a Golden Eagle rifle scope that's perfect for F-class shooting, and it's 15 to 60 power. That just makes sense in that arena. There are some other shooting applications like PRS or other competition style shooting or extreme long range where certainly high magnification is going to help you much more than it would if you're using a 3 to 9 Dback Tactical. But as you can see, we were trying to prove that essentially you don't need to go ridiculous on the magnification scale to shoot steel at 1,000 yards. You can do it with a 3 to 9 just fine. All right, now next up, Christian Davis tuned in and he wanted to know, will you guys release a higher magnification Dback Tactical? Maybe something like a 4 to 16 or something like that? Well, hey, Christian, that's definitely a possibility based on the performance that we've seen from these Dback Tacticals right out of the gate. Let's just say that we did do something like that. What are some things you'd want to see out of a scope like that? Comment below, and we'd love to see what you got. Now, here's a great one that came in from Jacob Mormon. He's new to shooting and wants to know what each number on the scope actually means. Now, Jacob, that's a great question because for many people who are brand new to hunting and shooting, that kind of stuff just goes way over their head and it gets pretty complicated. So let's dive in on this one right here, for instance. This is a Viper HS 2.5 to 10 by 44. So what do these numbers mean? 2.5 to 10 right off the bat is your magnification. So your image is going to be magnified 2.5 to 10 times, or anywhere in between, of course. Now, 44 is referring to the objective bell diameter, or the objective lens diameter. And so this is a 44 millimeter objective lens. Now, there's a couple other numbers you might hear out there, and why don't we just address those now? One that you might hear is eye relief. Now, a scope like this might have somewhere around 4 inches of eye relief, and basically what that's referring to is when your eye is behind the scope, it's going to be about 4 inches behind the scope to get that perfect image. Now, scopes with a little bit longer eye relief can be nicer on maybe a higher recoiling rifle because then you're not going to have to worry about getting scope-eyed. But, you know, that's something to consider just based on whichever rifle you're choosing. And then you might see things like field of view. Field of view is referring to how much you're going to be able to see through the optic. It will change slightly if it's a variable power optic like this 2.5 to 10. You'll have a wider field of view on the lower magnification than you do on the higher magnification. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, and definitely let us know if you have any other questions about scopes or the terms as you get into the shooting and hunting game. We'd love to help out there. All right, now this one in kind of the same vein, this one's from Nano Q88, and he's never been hunting before and wants to know what would be a good scope to start with. I'll tell you what, you know who can answer that question really well is Nick. Let's go talk to Nick. Yo, Nick. Our man Nano Q88 on YouTube is getting into hunting and wants to know what's a great first scope, and I figured you got that.
Yeah, we got a lot of wonderful options. I got actually right here a Diamondback 3-9x40. It's one of our most popular options. Has a really easy to use turret system, wonderful light transmission, great resolution at its price point, one of our favorites. Actually got right here a showroom display. This one is our Viper HS 2.5 to 10x44. Also a great magnification range. 2.5 power is easy to use at point blank range, and 10 power is plenty enough magnification for a little bit longer range shot. The turret system is very easy to use, one of my personal favorites, and it is a little bit more money than the Diamondback, but it is worth it.
Sweet. Well, there you have it. That's Nick's take on a great first hunting scope. Appreciate it, Nick.
Of course.
Thanks, man. All right, Nano Q88, appreciate you sending in the question for Ask Vortex. And tell you what, we're actually going to send you this pack of extra thick cut bacon to say thank you for sending in your question. Means a lot to us. Not sure how it's going to get to you, but it'll get to you some way or another. We'll figure it out. All right, keep her moving. Billy Duncan. So Billy wants to know, what would you recommend for a 12 gauge shotgun out to 100 yards, but mostly within 30 yards on turkey? So Billy, that's a great question. Now part of it's going to depend on your comfort level as a shooter. See, something like a Strikefire 2 red dot on a low mount would actually do really well, especially within that 30 yards that you mentioned. Now depending on your comfort level, again, it will get you out to 100 yards, but maybe some people want a little bit more magnification for something like that. Well, in that case, we'd recommend checking out something in the Crossfire 2 line, like perhaps the 2-7 or the 3-9x40 that we have here. Or in the Diamondback line, there's the 2-7 as well. And those are great choices if you want a little bit more magnification. Of course, there's also a Crossfire 2 1-4, and that has that more low power variable, so you can get up to 4 times zoom, and it's a great choice as well. So there's some options down in that range that are going to work really well on a 12 gauge. Let us know if you have any other questions on any of those models specifically, and we'll definitely be happy to help you out there. All right, now we're just getting this in that we actually have an Ask Vortex representative off-site. It's Reuben Alexson, and he's actually tuning into us from Kentucky, and he's going to answer this question coming in from Steven. Steven asks, why is the SCAR 17 so bad for optics? Reuben, take it away, pal.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. So we're out here in Cave City, Kentucky. We're shooting the 2017 Blue Ridge Mountain 3-gun match. So a question came in from Steven, and that question was, why is the SCAR 17 so hard on optics? Well, it boils down to a couple of things, but mainly, if you've known the SCAR, you know that it's a very light shooting platform. When I say that, what I mean is the recoil is very light in terms of felt recoil to the shooter. So this gun shoots very flat. It's got a muzzle brake compensator on it. It's a side charging system, but if you look at the weight of the bolt is considerably heavier and longer than an AR-10 bolt is. So what it boils down to is there's a ton of harmonic vibration that's coming up through the scope, and that energy, while it's not being transmitted into your shoulder because the gun is so efficient at minimizing felt recoil, the energy still has to escape somewhere, and generally where that goes up through the mount into the scope. So short answer to the question, the massive bolt in this gun is what makes it so hard on scopes. I hope that answers your question. Let us know if you have any other questions. Back to you, Jim.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in from out there, Rube. We appreciate it. All right, now we got another one in here from Sashimi Airsoft. Asks, will you do more cooking segments? Of course we will. What do you want to see? Let us know and maybe we'll make it happen. All right, now we got a couple of last quick hitters here. Mark Burson wants a computer for ballistics, long distance shooting calculations. Mark, check out our homepage of our website. The LRBC is a great ballistic calculator. You can also find stuff on your phone like iSnipe or Shooter Ballistics, stuff like that. Glockman 1727 AK-47 just picked up a Glock 17 MOS. What red dot should I put on it? Go Viper or Venom? Those are going to be the best bets. All right, and then last but not least, Jay Hundo from Reddit asks, hey, do you give people free stuff? Well, we give free advice and answers to questions all the time, and we did just give a guy bacon today. So, yeah, sometimes it happens. Thanks again, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in to this episode of Ask Vortex. Don't forget, ask us questions in the comments below, and we're going to do more of these. We'll pick our favorites, answer them right here. Hit us up on social media, again, with hashtag AskVortex. Let us know what you guys want to see on Vortex life in general, and we'll do our best to make it happen. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Walking Dead got you paranoid? Well, make sure you tune in next time because we've got 3 great survival rifles that we're going to be testing right here on the Vortex Life to see which one's best.